Select getting the correct graphic up. I forgot what teams are
Haha.
playing. Bravo versus Echo. Just swap that over real quick. Gonna see target bans. I mean, it's JC versus Arise. They play with each other every week, so we're definitely gonna see bans coming out there. I would think anyway. Anivia, Warwick, Aurelia, Oriana, not really typical bans for any of these plays except for Nom Nom. Nom Nom's Oriana is disgustingly good. I mean, it should be banned every single time. It's just silly.
Yeah, and you see it banned, of course, away, and a couple other target bans going across with the Anivia as well. Not exactly sure. I'm pretty sure it's for Riva, actually. So we'll see what they decide to go out with the picks.
One last final ban. Is it going to be the Udyr? It's Kha'Zix. And that actually, they banned Slushy's Aurelia. I didn't even notice that. I didn't realize he was on the team. However, that does leave his Nidalee available, which we saw him run away with last week. However, it goes for that Morgana. We saw him have a 90% hit ratio with those bindings on Sunday.
Yeah, which was absolutely incredible. And I mean, the fact that that was left open is a little bit upsetting to me, honestly. But we'll see how the purple team is going to be able to respond, knowing that that champion is the one that they decided to invest that first pick in.
Rising, Lucky in that Caitlyn, a good AD carry for just about every position, or every stage of the game. Except she has a rough mid game if you can't get her the kills she needs, but she does have a fairly strong late game with her additional range, and then the early game is just such a good lane bully.
And again, one of those champions, once you get to that IU shift point and you're just being able to hang out in the back, sit there, crit away, you just do so much damage, especially with her headshots being procced off of the eye. She has so much damage mixed in that when she does crit, when she does get those headshots, when she does get the shift procs, the consistent amount of damage she's able to put out by just sitting back there, she can melt through pretty much anyone.
And then the Janna pick. I don't like Janna. I've had people yell at me for not liking Janna because she's obviously the best support in the game, according to them. But she does nothing I want from a support. Like, if I want shields, I want Lulu. If I want CC, I want Thresh and Leona. And if I want heals, I want Nami, who's just a better version of Janna, I would say, in my
But if
opinion.
you just want raw peel, you want
Thresh.
No, you want.
I would take Thresh and Nami over Janna
I
any day
mean,
of the week.
I've seen one of my friends just only play Janna all the way to Master Tier, and I mean, Janna is just freelo with the right support.
I mean, we also saw Udos of Joy try Janna on Friday night, and that was just a clinic on how not to play Janna. I mean, it goes both ways. It's much too high of a skill ceiling, skill floor, what have you, that for my random solo queue games, I want my support player on something easy, like Nami or Thresh. That being said, Ezreal locked in. JC hates Ezreal. Rengar also being locked in. Rengar is pretty good. However, I hate this tank mentality with Rengar. You do literally nothing all game, and then your team has to carry you. I wish we would see more straight damage Rengars like Brian Choi.
Or even a AP split push Rengar would be more effective, I think, than these full tank Rengars. If you go a little bit of AP, CDR, and a Spirit Vision in there, it makes it incredibly difficult to just push you out of lane. You have the stealth mechanic to get away, you have that empowered heal, and it's just a different way to win a game. I feel like the full tank Rengar, you're just losing out on so much potential from his kit, and the only two viable ways to either play him are as just a full AD assassin to blow people up, or as that kind of tanky split push. More AP Rengar, but it's something you don't really see as often anymore since they nerfed the damage on his Battle Roar.
We see picks going back and forth for this top lane. Jax, Nidalee, Aatrox. I'm guessing it's going to be the Nidalee. Is usually what Shy Slushy defaults to when the Aurelia is banned. And then Nom Nom's hovering this Rise. Typically, if Orianna's banned, we see him go for the Zed, but right now he's picking blind. Riva's probably going to be the mid laner he's going up against, I would think. And him having the counter pick is really sort of going to weigh onto Nom Nom. That
Yeah,
being
and he's
said,
very aware of that, but I mean, Rise is a very, very, very safe pick, especially with the Flash and Ghost, and Ziggs almost being insta-locked. So, looking at the two team comps coming out from the blue team, you have just a real interesting mix of single target damage, peel, and lockdown. You have Morgana's Dark Binding and Rise's Rune Prison, as well as the Empowered Ebola. But on top of that, you look across the other team, I mean, Vi with the Assault and Battery, as well as her knockup, Ziggs with his Satchel Charge, and Janna just being a CC machine with her Tornado and her Monsoon. I mean, it makes it really difficult for the blue team to get in there. I don't know. I don't know. These two team comps are kind of. They're really hard to read. I think purple overall has the better team fight in the overall team comp, but blue team, if ahead, might just be able to snowball the game away.
I mean, blue team screams solo queue to me, whereas purple team's all about that AoE sort of. I mean, between Ziggs and Fiora, it's definitely something that's going to have to be weighing in the back of blue team's mind. They're going to have to either CC or nuke down this Fiora before she gets the Janna shield and ults. So definitely going to be interesting to see how that gets played out.
Yeah, but they have just so much initiation from Rise being able to speed himself up from the ultimate and from the ghost and just basically sprint forward for a rune prison and then let Rengar come in from behind that with his throw of a hunt. If they're able to do that and then follow it up with Morgana behind, and as long as Ezreal is able to stay at the back and kite away, I'm very, very confident in JC's ability to play Ezreal and put out as much damage as possible against Rest and Dawn's Caitlyn.
Yeah, these, like you said, those early levels gonna be a bit hairy for the Ezreal. He's probably just gonna end up sitting at tower and farming with Mystic Shot and the odd auto attack. But depending on which he goes, are we going to see the Triforce Ezreal that does a okay amount of damage, or are we going to see the blue build Ezreal, which does a lot of damage and a lot of self peel? It's definitely going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, it'll be really, really, really interesting. Honestly, I expect him to go a little bit more of a traditional build that is the IE Shiv Triforce on Ezreal. I don't see JC being a huge proponent of the blue build. That being said, I don't think I've ever seen him play Ezreal, so it should be interesting. What's up, Katazu?
Can we drop down to a different channel real quick?
Yep.
With Sundown gone, I love blue builds. I personally feel it's the only way you should play Ezreal because Triforce build, you just don't do anything. You might do an okay amount of damage with your auto attacks, but then you just sort of die. I mean, that's probably my biggest issue with people that play Ezreal is they just don't do anything with the Triforce build. Whereas if you go blue build, you get that tier stacked, you get that Frozen Fist. Then once you pop your Mirror Mana, you can kite all day long while putting out tons of damage. And especially once you start taking blue buffs away from your mid laner, you're unstoppable. You can almost 1v5 the team by slowing, kiting, and walking away. It's a very nice build. Counting down the last seconds of the spectator delay, we're going to be able to see who has the better skins.
Sorry about that, guys. I just had to boot and ban somebody from the server real quick.
Whoopsie daisy.
Yeah, it doesn't typically have to happen, but I actually got a warning about that troll last night from a fellow member of staff. So as soon as I saw him again, I had the opportunity to remove him from the presence. Like I said, vVv, really cool community. We do a bunch of interesting stuff, but one thing we don't promote is any toxicity. I mean, you can come check us out. We like to hold events, we like to play League. But like I said, we don't put up with any of that trolling shit. We do cheese people, but we don't troll people.
That being said, looking at these skins, Rengar, the only one without one, kind of unfortunate. However, Caitlyn and Ziggs also not having one. So I'm going to give it to Blue Team.
Yeah, that Triumph and Rise skin, I mean, just so sexy. Nom Nom was actually the victor of the Season 2 ADL, so that was one of the prizes that he received.
Striker Ezreal is actually lately my go-to over Pulsefire. It's clean, it's not really flashy, and doesn't really have as many like sort of odd ticks that you see with Pulsefire. Most of which have been fixed by Riot. Good job on them.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of the Striker Ezreal as well. I picked that one up as soon as it's available for the World Cup skin. Skipping that one as well as.
I mean, you are a football player, soccer player.
Yeah, you gotta be, and you see the items coming out right away. Coin on both of the supports. Ezreal, of course, starting with the Torrent's Blade, as well as Caitlyn. Mana, Crystal on the rise, as well as the utility spec. So you see the 3 biscuits as it should be, and a AD middly up in the top lane as expected from Shy Slushy.
Yeah, this session at top lane is going to be very interesting because one of the issues that this new Nidalee has trouble with dealing with is champions with there's a hard engage multiple like dash type champions. So that's why you see a lot of people go J4 Xin Zhao against Nidalee. It's going to be interesting to see how Fiora plays into this. She's going to be able to parry the pounce. She's going to be able to parry auto attacks and be able to dash in either using a minion or just straight onto Nidalee after she pounces away. And she does have a high damage once she gets an item or two.
Yeah, but Fiora being able to parry that attack, if played right, should be able to do okay up in that lane. And at 6 is going to have the ability to go all in on that Nidalee, where she's not just going to be able to pounce away from the Blade Waltz ultimate.
I mean, Nidalee also has her own heal, which gives her a bit more sustain even through the Fiora passive. I mean, it's relatively unnoticeable. You need to continuously auto attack to even keep passive up. But I guess it can sort of keep you in a lane you might typically not have if they decided to change the Fiora passive.
Well, the Fiora passive on top of a timeout, which is typically bought, gives her a decent amount of health regen in lane, but again, it's not as much as you see from a lot of these other champions. That's why she's so reliant upon snowballing. And Slushy, right away, it looked like actually starting with the Primal Surge heal in order to get those powered auto attacks off with a little bit of extra attack speed in.
Yeah, being a ranged champion against the melee, you really want to take every advantage you can get to auto attack, and just having that extra attack speed really helps.
And Caitlyn actually managing to land a crit down in the bot lane with a headshot, but tons of damage coming out in the top lane from the Nidalee, and the dashes from from Fiora not exactly accomplishing a whole lot. She's actually getting pushed in a little bit and losing CS because of it.
A wave ahead already for Shy. I'm thinking he's going to be able to run away with this. A nice binding onto a rise. However, being Janet doesn't really care that much.
Just going to be able to shield up a lot of that damage, and so far, so good from everyone.
Rengar gets spotted out by a ward. Kind of odd trying to gank this early. No ultimate, no real bush in that mid lane to jump to. Gonna get found out by Vi, and Vi's gonna put a hurting down right now. Getting that third proc off and the red buff. Now Nom Nom's really not where he wants to be. Lots of damage coming in from this Raz.
Yeah, but unfortunately, no point in Satchel Charge yet, so no really way to knock him over.
Shy.
He had that point in... Oh,
Shy going really
Yeah,
low.
just
Actually
gonna flash.
flashes
Yeah.
anyway.
I think he might have been able to get away. It looked like the Fiora was giving that up. But going back to that gank in the mid lane, if he skilled his third point in the Satchel Charge, he could have dropped it right on the corner.
Lots of damage. Oh, we're going to see the Ignite come out? No Ignite coming out, even though Shy is super duper low. I think
Doesn't
he's trying
quite
to
have
bait
the
it.
damage through the heal yet. He wants to get one more combo off before he really goes down, because he knows if he doesn't play it right, Shy might be able to turn
A
around.
flash Ignite, there it
That's
is.
going to be the damage.
That's the first blood. 400 gold going over to Fiora. That's going to help a lot in this lane. Nom
Flash
Nom.
is exchange, but there's no mana from Nom Nom right, so not exactly sure what he was trying to accomplish there in that chase.
Nom Nom thought he had more mana than he did. The Flash not working out for him. However, he traded Flash for Flash. Again, it's still better for your jungler to be missing a Flash than your immobile mid laner. However, he does still have Ghost, so he's not exactly escapeless.
Yeah, and especially once he hits that spike at 6 and has his desperate power to throw in there and has the additional speed up, he's going to be safe in that really short mid lane.
And what that Ghost is going to be able to do, once Rise hits 6, he's going to be super quick. He's going to be able to pop that ultimate, throw on the Ghost, and run down anybody he feels like. GC,
Yeah, which could spell trouble.
it looks like JC is sort of missing out on this like minions here under the tower. He's like getting like gummed up by his Mystic Shot and the auto attacks by Caitlyn, but he's still in the lead roughly. Caitlyn was able to tie it up quickly there, but with minions still on his side, he has a chance to bring it back.
Yeah, and Slushy needs to be very careful up in this top lane. He's giving up a longsword and boots in the exchanges, so even though he's mobile, he doesn't quite have that movement speed. And as soon as Fiora hits the 6, she's going to look to try and all-in him and capitalize on a kill, especially when that Ignite comes back up in about another minute or so.
We see Rengar coming up. However, I don't think...
But there's the 6, so he needs to be very, very, very careful. Multi's going to look to go in and try and use this level advantage while he has it, and that's why Rengar's just going to hang it out here.
Black Shield coming out a second too late. JC still getting knocked up. However, there's a lot of caster minions on the side of Shy Slushy. He wants this engage from Fiora, but Fiora is smart enough to not try and fight all these minions.
Yeah, she's aware that she's giving up CS. There's a huge minion stack right there. She doesn't want to fight into it anyway. She knows she's ahead, but she's not that far ahead, but she can just go up and tank the minions. And Nidalee hitting 6 and getting her ultimate isn't going to give her that big of a chance, so she still has that advantage up in the top lane.
Well, I mean, the non-factor ultimate, the one that just doesn't exist.
I mean, you get a little bit of advantage from it, but...
Yeah, however, half health already. Slushy not where he wants to be in that top lane already. Just
And
getting
you see the
chunked out.
Ignite is coming up again in about now 20-25 seconds. So as soon as that's up, look for the ability to try, or again, I keep doing that from last game, but might
The
be going
double
for it.
dash
She doesn't
there.
quite have the mana for it, though. She needs a little bit more mana in order to go in. About, yep, there she goes. She hits it with a level, so as soon as that Ignite's off cooldown, look for her to dash in and just use that ultimate. She needs...
Good vault breaker there, landing on. No real follow-up from Ryva, though, and Maono's just going to try and chase him away.
Yeah, not too worried. Again, the short lane with Rise makes it so easily to just walk back. Even if you do eat any amount of CC, not too much to be worried about. And nope, there's the double dash.
The
Also,
Blade
and
Waltz,
going.
Ignite, auto attack, the Ignite coming out onto Multi,
Yeah, as
but
soon
no.
as she had the mana for it, there's the combo. That's what we're talking about, and that's 2-0 now in the top lane. And a snowballing Fiora is not a fun thing to deal with.
Especially without that many tanks. I mean, right now, Rise is typically the only one we see building a Frozen Heart or really armory type abilities, and that's because he scales so well off the mana. You don't typically see Nidalee's pick up that full tank build anymore. And as we were talking about, Rengar's irrelevant if he decides to go that build.
And it's interesting to see. It looks like he's probably going to pick up a Spirit of the Elder Lizard since he decided to go for that Spirit Stone. So not exactly sure what he's deciding. It looks like he kind of wants some early game pressure from that Elder Lizard damage and the CDR, but it's going to kind of really hurt his ability to accomplish anything over the course of the game when his ultimate's not up. Not going for that Feral Flare. Like, it's just wasted stats. You don't need that mana regen, you don't need the health. Like, you have enough of that coming off of the flare, coming off of your base stats, so there's no real point going for it. Like, the additional damage you're getting from that is basically irrelevant.
Not only that, but I'm 90% sure his roar does magic damage. Yeah, so I mean, his roar doesn't even proc the Spirit of the Elder Lizard. So definitely odd seeing that there. Fiora picking up a pickaxe with her latest back, still looking to just bully out this Nidalee. However, facing a full wave of double minions, not really feeling it just yet.
Yeah, she's going to bring that in, even up the CS a little bit more, and it's going to be interesting to see what this Nidalee tries to do. She picked up that Glacial Stride, so you kind of see her going probably towards a Frozen Fist, knowing that she needs to get armor and ASAP if she wants to have any chance of accomplishing anything in this lane. In Rengar, you see him trying to build up his stack so he can go up and gank the top lane with a full stack on his Frost and have that additional bonus. He's hanging out, asking where the wards are in the top, knows there aren't any. We'll see if he's going to be able to make a play. He's roaming up towards there, and Multi's going in right now trying to be the aggressor.
Shy wants it, but the ultimate from Flaming Heart, the flash, Ebola lands, but Shy's nowhere near. The second Bola misses, and the flash from Multi.
Yeah, good flash to make sure he gets out of that with the Spirit going down.
Flash forced out of Nom Nom Rice again. GTX Lloyd just showing his face in the lane with his Vault Breaker showing.
Yeah, and the Assault Battery was probably a reason for the flash. He might have just been able to micro the Vault Breaker if he'd walked back towards the top side, but would have given up a lot of damage if he'd actually eaten that and then followed up with the Assault Battery. You see Vi trying to roam up towards the top side, but Rengar trying to help out this Nidalee as much as he can, just keeping the pressure up there. That being said, he's down about 13 CS and giving up a longsword and damage right now to the Vi, so it's not really helping anything. And Shy Slushy is
trying to go in. Blade Wald's coming out. One auto attack, flash away, heal coming out. Rengar doesn't seem to care.
But I think Ziggs is going to be able to clean this one up. There's
Flash Vault Breaker and another Q in from Fiora is going to finish him off.
Yeah, didn't really necessarily need the flash on the Vault Breaker. It looked like Fiora would have picked it up anyway, but the assist goal going over is not bad, and by getting that kill will certainly help.
Good binding on a Rising Dawn. Ultimate's going out a 90 caliber net, enough to break the chain from the Soul Shackles. However, JC getting knocked up by that Tornado. Really in a bad spot. Binding landing just out of tower range. That could have been...
Caitlyn still has her ultimate, though. I don't know why they were continuing to fight that. At this point, if she ults either one of those two targets, they would be going down. She had the damage going off anyway, and JC throwing a heart out in all chat to BM Arise a little bit.
JC actually got that kill because Caitlyn walked away out of Q range. Mystic Shot, kill not... Ace in the hole, not enough to kill. However, Silk's now almost full health, misses the binding, auto attacks coming in, Mystic Shot picking up that kill. 2 kills for this blue build. Ezreal's gonna start snowballing.
Yeah, really, really, really unfortunate play down with what happened. I mean, if they just backed off when they had them both out and then used the ace in the hole, they would have forced out the heal and had the advantage anyway. And Arise wouldn't have died in that case. Now Ezreal picking up those 2 kills is really going to allow for them to kind of claw their way back in this game a little bit.
And like I said, this blue build Ezreal, it's going to give him kite all days long. It's going to give him a good chunk of sustain with the mana. And he's just going to be able to go anywhere he wants because he'll be able to jump over walls all day long. Ryva hiding in a bush gets found by Nom Nom Rise, but Arise and GTX Overload are both in the area. And with Flaming Heart only at half health, he's not going to be able to go in on this.
Looks like they kind of want to turn around.
Nom Nom Rise almost going down 1v3 and picking up a couple kills. The ultimate from Ezreal, however, didn't hit. Ebola lands no Rune Prison to follow up, though.
No, and it's just they're not quite in sync with using all their abilities. Their Rise went in a little bit prematurely before the Rengar had an opportunity to quite get off that ultimate damage, and then used all of his abilities to force them off before Rengar could really get in there and leap on anyone. They're going to try and clear up this pink ward. Rise not going to be able to hold this off. Just wants one more AA. She's able to get that word, but at what cost? Will it be her life? No. They just both narrowly dodged that death bind.
The second dash on a Shy, trying to get something done. However, he's down 7 CS in this lane. Decided to skip going for either the Phage or the Sheen, and is picking up a Glacial Shroud. Just trying to auto attack, trying to keep this tower safe. However, missing all of these creeps.
Yeah, really, really tough time right now for this Nidalee. I mean, giving up 2 kills and an assist to the Fiora. She has the team out. She has the Vamp Scepter. So that plus her passive, she's just going to be able to sustain up. And in fact, she's just looking to take this blue buff away right now. Rise is walking down, but I don't think it's going to be in enough time.
No wards. He has a sweeper, not even a warding totem, so he couldn't see Fiora get that just in time. Rune Prison coming out.
All in. She's got to go now. She's going to go. Rengar's waiting in the wings, and Nidalee's coming down. She's got to make a play.
She has Blade Waltz available. Uses the Blade Waltz, trying to get away. Parry, however, Rune Prison locking it down. The kill going to Shy Slushy. That's desperately needed, and he got the blue buff.
Yeah, that being said, red team's going to turn, look at it, like, oh, we see all 3 in the topside jungle. Let's take this dragon away.
And that's going to be free. Neither lanes, anywhere, or any 3 of the lanes, even in a remotely position to take this tower down. Binding landing onto Janna. However, now 4 members coming down to this lane. Ryva using the satchel charge to get over there. Ultimate's coming down. Ace in the hole, not taking up a kill. GTX Overlord stuck under tower, ends up going down. Ultimate from Janna tries to save him. Morgana going down to auto attacks. Now Flaming Heart's really not where he wants to be.
A really, really, really good job right there by everyone on
Satchel
Echo.
charge trying to Jordan it, doesn't quite get it, and eats a lot of tower shots for the trouble.
Yeah, but it looks like they're going to be able to pick up this B1. Arise actually just getting that last tick aggro and living with just over 100 HP actually. Very, very lucky right there. But they picked up Dragon for their troubles. They picked up another couple of kills, and they're able to stretch out to now just over a 1.5k gold lead at 16 minutes. So still anybody's game, but with this Rengar kind of falling farther and farther behind, 0-0-0. That's not what you like to see out of your jungler. You want him making plays, either picking up kills, getting into the enemy's jungle, or at least setting up assists for his laner. He's not really doing any of that. So they basically playing 4 on 5, and on top of that, it's not like he's just been able to farm his jungle. He's going to scale ridiculously into the late game because he went...
Multi and GTX Overlord coming in. Overlord flash, assault breaking, Blade Waltz landing on both members. Multi flashing the wrong way, but finds Flaming Heart. However, the empowered Ebola is going to keep him from picking up a kill. And GTX Overlord is going to chase down Slushy, who jumps into the Dragon Pit, and now doesn't really have anywhere to go.
Yeah, Slushy just wants to play some reindeer games, knowing that he has that Cougar form. He's able to go back and forth over walls a lot easier and a lot quicker than everyone else. He can just get in and out of the situation. However, while
Super Mega Bomb from Ryva, picking up the kill, also picking up the tower.
Yeah, the Mega Inferno Bomb landing right on top of Rise's face, not letting him react to anything, and it looks like
Slushy eating lots of damage.
Get picked out. No, great binding coming out from 6, and Slushy again just playing these reindeer games. However, all of Echo's coming around the backside saying, no, Rudolph, you don't get any fun today.
However, Slushy maxing his heal is going to be able to keep relatively safe. However, blue buff timing out, now caught between everybody. A nice satchel charge from Ryva is going to keep him away from Rising Dawn.
Yeah, and Ryva definitely having a field day right now on Ziggs. He's up 8 farm in the lane, but he has the athletes and that needlessly large, and his satchel charges are doing phenomenal to peel for his team, that also set himself up to hit more of those bouncing bombs and to put out more of those hextech explosive minefields.
Another pickaxe for this Fiora. Probably going to go for a Last Whisper. A nice Rune Prison to stop the charge of the Vault Breaker. However, Ryva says, don't chase my carry or jungler away, I'm just going to stop you. However, now Ryva's taking lots of damage. Ward going down finds Overlord. the ultimate and the not ghost being popped out. However, assault and battery landing. Ryva not really going down. The heal keeping him safe. And that's going to be a pickup for Ryva.
Yeah, phenomenal heal right there, baiting out. Good communication between the two, knowing they had enough damage for it. Well played coming out from Nom Nom, knowing that they really executed that perfectly, especially without the Mega Inferno Bomb on cooldown. They only need to use the Vi ultimate and the heal there to accomplish that, even though it looked like Nom Nom had that ability. And the fact that Ryze has died 3 times in such a short lane is really, really, really hampering his ability to kind of scale into this game. And honestly, I think the longer and longer this goes, it's really going to come down to how Korean JC is going to be able to play on this blue build Ezreal. He's going to have to kite his balls off if they want to have any chance of winning this game, because there's so much damage coming out of Ryze's Ziggs and Multi's Fiora at this point.
That being said, there's a lot of armor coming down for this blue team to try and combat that Fiora snowball. We see 2 Frozen Fists already, and I can almost guarantee you Ryze is probably going to pick up a Frozen Heart as his next item.
He almost has to, but that being said, then nobody really is
Multi
to deal.
doesn't care, double jumps onto the Ezreal, eats a Q in the face and slows her down for a little bit.
And nobody's really expecting to deal with this final
Flaming Heart,
getting
getting caught, Mega Bomb coming down, Ace in the hole being blocked by Morgana. However, Slushy's in a bit of trouble. Blade Walls picks him up. However, lots of slows coming out of JC, trying to slow down the entire team and keeping Silks alive. Silks eats a Piltover Peacemaker and flashes over. However, now it's JC versus Caitlyn. Multi picking up a kill there, JC picks up 1 kill. However, Blade Waltz is down. The slow coming out, lots of CC and lifesteal for Multi already though. Just gonna lock down and kill JC.
And it looks like that's going to be the mid 2 with a fresh minion wave coming in. And 4 relatively healthy members coming out from Echo. You see their gold lead now extending to a little over 6.5k. They might try and get some damage down on this in-hit trade. Nope, Arai's going to throw 1 auto attack on it and say, oh, they're all up. It's only 20 minutes in the game. We should get out. They're going to hopefully throw down some wards as they back out of here and steal away the blue buff. No wards going down, but Ryva's going to be able to pick up that blue. Take it away from Nom Nom, but really, really inhibit his tier stacking a little bit. Kind of annoying, but we'll see what they're able to come up with. And honestly, the fact that the Ziggs is so big and there's nary any MR coming out from anyone, they're so concerned with the snowballing Fiora that nobody's built any MR for the Ziggs that already has Athene's Sork Boots and a Rabadon Death Cat at 21.5 minutes. I mean, that is a scary, scary little Yordle.
He is 6-0. He's definitely put in work this game, both defending his teammates and picking up kills for it. A nice binding dodge by Arise, having those Moby boots, and just the Janna passive to keep that movement speed up.
Yeah, great little micro use. Just dip up, dip down. Dark Binding is actually really, really slow animation in terms of its firing time and its movement speed. So really easy for the high mobility Janna to just kind of micro that. I really would have been disappointed if she'd eaten that there.
Great vision control by this red team, trying to get around this dragon pit. It is live. Blue team clearing out the pink. Has something to say about this dragon though. However, I don't think it's a fight they want right now. They're too underscaled going against this 602 Ziggs who has immense poke, and then this 313 Fiora who just has all the all-in they need.
However, right now, forcing them to sit in that funnel and just eat Mystic Shots and eat these Nidalee Spheres, they're not exactly having the worst time in terms of controlling this area. They have good area denial coming out from the team, a lot of straight line skill shots and lockdown that they're able to kind of pile on each side.
Ryva eats a binding and a double Frozen Fist, throws the Mega Bomb down. However, Cyrus getting picked up. The heal keeping him just alive through the ace in the hole. However, Multi going really low. Doesn't have, or still has Blade Waltz available. However, these Mystic Shots are hurting a lot.
Yes, JC needs to turn this fight into more kills. This is what the blue Ezreal looks to do. Kind of extend fights out, not let people chase. And you see this
good bowl of lands. However, 90 caliber net right in the face. Nom Nom says, "This is my turn." Flashes over the wall. Flaming Heart does the same. However, eats a bomb and goes down. The nice Rune Prison onto Ziggs keeps him in place long enough for JC to pick up the kill there. Ghost coming out of Nom Nom. He really wants this, but he eats a 90 caliber net. They're really not doing anything by chasing this fight any longer. A nice spear onto Multi, who goes in, still has Blade Waltz, pops it, and picks up the kill onto Shy Slushy. However, this time JC used it to push that mid tower. Rising Dawn finding a little peek hole. However, it gets caught. A nice double overload picking up that kill.
Yeah, and a really unfortunate that the mini wave spawned right there, giving him sight. He should have just walked into that bush. Granted, they did have vision of it, but he would have known. He would have seen the reaction from Rise rather than trying to hide right there. I mean, he just assumed that he wouldn't be seen. Fiora picking up this red buff and a 7k gold lead at 24.
GC was forced off that tower when it had literally 1 health left. Bit uncharacteristic for him, I would say. He usually finishes those towers. Actually, a visual bug where Fiora is constantly burning from something.
I'm assuming it's from just doing that red buff or from either the elbows on Rengar, but
I believe
honestly,
it's
it
the
looks
Elder
pretty
Lizard.
cool.
It is the Elder Lizard.
She
However,
looks a little more badass right now, honestly.
did finish the Last Whisper, gets hit by a Rune Prison and a Binding, not particularly in that order, already forced to almost half health.
Yeah, and she should just be able to go dip off in the jungle real quick and sustain that right back up. You see Red Team going to be able to pick up this dragon, push their gold lead a little out, a little farther in front. Like we said, 7.5k gold lead right now. And honestly, I think they just need to siege and try and poke down.
Ace in the hole coming out. Flaming Heart eats it in the face, and it does a lot of damage. Infinity Edge and a pickaxe already put onto Rising Dawn. His damage is about to go over the top. Deciding to skip that Zeal, go for pickaxe and a Vamp Scepter instead. Bola onto Overlord. A big bomb coming down. Almost kills Rengar. Multi now Blade Waltzing in. Landing on an Omnom and Silks. The Rune Prison coming out. Not quite enough. Soul Shackles being popped, but also getting popped in the process. Salt and Battery onto JC. Flashes away. Just going to get forced out by these bombs and this minefield. Nothing he can do about it.
Yeah, and that's going to be the mid turret. And you see just how much damage is coming out from those two giant AoEs. The Mega Inferno Bomb plus the Blade Waltz basically single-handedly able to do close to 75% of the damage to everyone on the blue team. And it just doesn't even give GC a chance. The only real way that the blue team is able to stay in these fights is if they group up together and they get 5 basically on their base side moving out towards, and they kind of zone deny. That's what they have. They have the Dark Binding, they have the Mystic Shots, they have the Spear. They need to throw them out and poke together and really try and get these fights to last longer, and most importantly, dodge the skill shots coming out from this 8-1 and 4 Ziggs. I mean, he hurts a lot, especially with the constant blue buffs. The fact that he has the Death Cap and the Athenes, there's so much damage coming down from him right now, and he's going back looking like he's going to pick up his Zanyas and finish that off. There it is. So right now that Ziggs is looking like he has a little bit, he's just short of 500 AP. So those bombs are going to hurt.
And he has the safety net of his Satchel Charge along with the Zonies. Plus Janna shields. It's really starting to add up now. It's being a lot of sort of bonus health and auto attack damage. The Mikhails is there just in case a clutch binding comes out of Silks. Not really seeing much use for it though. It's really just going to be all about that health return.
Well, if they can stop the initial CC train, it'll really, really help the potential, or really hinder the potential of Blue Team's ability to pick on.
And Flaming Heart right now is just so behind. He's having Boots and his Spirit Elder Lizard. Really not doing anything. Flaming Heart getting popped for the Ace in the hole. However, Morgana takes it, goes down anyway. A nice Assault and Battery actually kills Rise. That's unfortunate, and that's going to be the bottom tier 2.
Yeah, Ezreal coming out, but it doesn't really matter at this point. It's not even going to clear the back wave with the damage reduction going through.
Multi wants this fight, just going to try and jump in, however going really low. Blade Waltz is only on 1 champion, however gets the heal out of JC even on top of that. Overload taking too much damage between the Mystic Shot and the tower, ends up going down, and now JC just trying to force them away from the inhibitor. And with 3 members of red team having only died once, the power is really starting to grow out of control.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just at this point, like you said, it's up to a 12k gold lead now at 29 minutes, and it's just really, really, really difficult for the blue team to do anything. This Rengar only has these home guard merchants and an Elder Lizard plus a cloth armor, so it's not like he's really able to get in there and do any damage, and on top of that, it's not like he's really able to get in there and tank anything. So it's kind of just this useless kitty cat running around looking to play with things at this point. And I mean, yes, they can kind of try and do the aerial denial, but at this point you saw how much damage the two AoEs of Blade Waltz and of Mega Inferno Bomb are doing from the 6-1 and 7 Fiora and 9-1 and 6 Ziggs, respectively. I mean, that damage is just absolutely insane, and with the bot inhib exposed and the middle inhibitor already gone, I think it's just a matter of time until Echo cleans this game up.
And I'm wondering if they're gonna bait a Baron and then try and just like kill whoever comes here, because they have complete vision control, or if they could just take it. I mean, they have the damage, they have the vision, they have the waves pushing. Bit unfortunate, middle inhibitor spawning now, so no more super minions there. Black Shield coming out, dodges the Vault Breaker. However, the auto attack from Riva already takes away the Black Shield. Forced a flash before the Soul Shackles could complete. Assault and Battery going down. Riva picking that up with a bomb. Ultimate forced out a Nom Nom Res. Gets popped up by the Satchel Charge. Goes down. Now Rengar's not where he wants to be. Shy Slushy eating the last tick of the Blade Walls and gets picked up there. That's a 4 for none. And Riva was taking a half health. They can now take both inhibs, back off, and take the Baron.
Yeah, and that should be the lead for the game. And I think one of the biggest mistakes we've seen, at least highlighted in this game, is when people get ulted by the Fiora, they tend to try and flash away. I mean, they're thinking, oh god, I have to create as much distance as possible. But then they end up flashing in their team and just allow so much more damage.
Ace in the hole coming in, chunks down a lot. JC picks up the kill onto GTX Overlord, but gets taken down by Multi's Fiora, who is now 819 and basically spelling GG, who picks up a Brutalizer and a Quicksilver Sash for herself.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at just the solo winners coming out from Echo right now, they're combined 20 kills, 2 deaths, and 17 assists, and just accounting for so much gold and so much damage for the team. But that's what you really want to look for in these types of matchups. We talked about how Fiora is one of those heavy snowballing champions, and how Ziggs can just get so much farm and be in all these lanes at once. And that's really what they were able to do. And on top of that, they have just what they need coming out of the jungle. They needed somebody who's going to be able to lock down, do a little bit of damage, but really just keep people in place and apply pressure. And Vi's done an absolutely phenomenal job of that. And on top of that, she's building what she needs to be building. She knows that she needs magic damage, magic resistance, because of the Rise, because of the Mord, because of the Ezreal. There's a lot of magic damage coming out from the Mystic Shots, from those Overloads, and from the Rune Prisons. And she was able to get down that Hex Striker, get HP, and get a Spectre's Cowl in there. So she's soaking up so much damage when she goes in, and just holding the key targets in place for the AoE to do their job.
And one thing to note, Rengar had previously bought a Cloth Armor, who then sold it to pick up a Chain Vest. And that's actually showing so badly how far behind he is. He can't even keep one single armor item before he sells it for another. And they're setting up this Baron, thinking they had complete control, but when Morgana was here earlier, she was able to get a ward down. They decided to sweep that out. However, it is much too late for this Baron. It's going to go over to Echo.
Rengar looked like they wanted to try and do something towards it, but he walked over, realized it was a lost cause, and now 2 inhibs down. They're rotating straight towards the top lane. Baron's on them. I think it's just a matter of time, folks. I think 5 minutes or less, and we'll see the GGs coming out.
I mean, with 2 inhibs down, Nom Nom's a bit out of position, gets popped up by a Satchel Charge. Shy Slushy taking a good chunk of damage from that bomb, and only one. Ace in the hole, landing onto JC, trying to sort of dodge it with a Arcane Shift. Not happening. They can't really defend this tower, and overpowered Ebola lands on Overlord. Janna Shield following that up. Shy Slushy's putting himself in real danger by being here. And with the double inhibitors down, that's 2 sets of super minions on those Nexus towers.
Yeah, my only complaint is that Rising Dawn during that siege could have been hitting the turret while the minions were on it rather than sitting off on the side trying to just throw pilt over peacemakers, but it doesn't matter. Blue team has to go back, defend their base. They're going to take the top tier 2 and just siege on down to this inhibitor turret and wait, let their supers do the work. Because honestly, right now, Bravo has their hands full just trying to keep them off of their Nexus turrets.
The ultimate from Ezreal trying to clear this out. The Mystic Shot with the powered up fist doing a bit of work to clear those out. A nice binding onto Rising Dawn. No follow-up damage really coming out. Not enough to make it worrisome.
See, and this is the circumstance under which Bravo wants to fight, but the fact that they've already given up their inhibitor turrets just makes it so much harder to try and hold these lanes.
And they're trying to hide over this wall, trying to get some poke down on those wards, but they're actually being given away by those mid lane minions that they happen to drag over. Shy Slushy, very unfortunate, getting hit by that Vault Breaker, gets almost completely deleted by Multi. Overlord going in with the Assault and Battery. JC flashes away and kills her. Now Multi's getting a nice 4-man Blade Waltz. That's 1 kill. Rune Prison down onto Multi. Satchel Charge picking up that kill onto Flaming Heart. Ultimate from Nom Nom not really doing anything. Inhibitors now starting to come up for Bravo. However, quickly going
the top
down.
One already went back down. The middle one is going to go down with 1 or 2 more auto attacks. They're waiting for the wave. And it looks like with the Baron Nashor health regen on, they're just going to sweep on down the bot. Pick up the 3.
Rising Dawn actually flashing away from Nom Nom.
For whatever reason. Yeah, I think he's just trying to create more space, make sure they get the inhibitor. Nothing stupid going down. And there.
Multi flashing in, doesn't quite get the kill. The Arcane Shift too much. Spear lands on the Multi, but Riva's just putting down work. Satchel Charge away, Multi picking up 1 kill there. Gets Rune Prisoned in, however, tries to go for that 2nd kill. Gets locked down by the Morgana binding. Rengar flashing in, picks up the shutdown there, 500 gold. Almost worth something. Riva going down to the Mystic Shot slow. 90 caliber net right in JC's face. Black Shield just not in time.
And it looks like they were thinking about trying to chase it out. Talisman was popped, but instead they realized, oh god, we have 3 inhibitors down. We need to deal with these Superman. Meanwhile, Echo's going to walk out and say, we're going to take all your jungle, buy all our items, come back completely full build, and just kill you anyway.
Yeah, I mean, red team right now could just take Dragon, take some jungle camps, and wait for the double super minions in the lanes. Now that all 3 are down, there's going to be twice as many super creeps in those lanes heading for that Nexus Tower. And it's going to take everything Bravo has right now to try and defend this.
And I mean, JC just struggling through right now. I mean, look at the rest of his team compared to him. He is having a rough time on the Ezreal. He has the most farm. He's 8-3-3, but he's just not able to really get down any amount of damage. And you see these super minions just putting in work right now. It is a full-time job for Bravo. Just keep these things from running over their base already, and the waves haven't even begun to stack. They almost killed Rengar single-handedly, and they're already onto the Nexus turrets.
And Rengar's trying to get armor in, but seeing as it's only a Warden's Mail and a Giant's Belt, he's severely outclassed by the damage that that Fiora and Caitlyn are putting in. I mean, Fiora has double penetration items, a Quicksilver Chest, I'm guessing into a Mercurial, and a Ravenous Hydra. It's just absurd how much damage she's putting out right now.
Oh yeah, double penetration items.
What?
Oh yeah, double penetration items. Nice.
Sundown, everybody.
And you looked, and it looks like Echo's just trying to set up a campy little bush cheese. Either that, or waiting for Caitlyn to walk down because they know they need to go with 5. Bravo has shown that they're able to just hold it off by throwing out these skill shots over and over again. But I think with all the super minions here and finally grouped up as 5, Ace in the hole coming down, putting a ton
Almost
of damage
picking
on
up
the
Rengar. However, no inhibs down. They need to wait for minions to come in to just sort of shut down this poke game coming out of
I just
Bravo.
don't think they're going to be able to deal with 6 super minions and basically
First
the full
turret
build.
going down.
Yeah.
Ultimate from
Second
JC.
one's going down right now.
Second turret gets instantly deleted. They decide to fight Blade Bolts, only landing on a Morgana. Super Mega Bomb picking that kill up. Shy Slushy going down to a Janna auto attack. Overlord almost going down to JC, however, not quite enough damage. JC now just trying to get them away from the tower, however, too many super minions. JC goes down. Nom Nom goes down,
Ace
and that's game.
GG coming out. And that will be it. Game 2 closing out for a decisive victory by Echo and a phenomenal job by the Fiora of Multi and the Ziggs of Reva. I mean, the bot lane, everyone did a quality job. I mean, looking at Arise, 1-1 and 23, phenomenal channel play, having more assists than the entire blue team combined. So, I mean, it just goes to show team effort that really came out, and the fact that they were in so many different lanes. I mean, they had double the assists to their kills, so basically every single one of their kills had 2 people on it. So, very impressive effort coming out from Team Echo.
Yeah, looking at the gold, once Red Team once again started to take it, they ran away with it. They started just tumbling tower after tower, objective after objective, and Blue Team couldn't do anything about it. They would just end up giving up kills and the objective. They couldn't really have any chance to come back because Red Team was just going so far into the jungle, into the base, and just killing people over and over again and taking the objectives they needed.
Yeah, and just making it a really hard time for the blue team to get anything going. I mean, that being said, looking over at the damage charts, just so much damage coming out of the Fiora and the Ziggs. I mean, Ezreal was able to keep pace, but I mean, Rengar did less damage to champions than, or did only 600 damage to champions more than Janna, and actually less damage to champions than the Morgana. So, I mean, if you're going to play Rengar, you have to build Pharaoh, and you have